Well, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us this morning. And I'm very pleased to be here with my colleague on City Council, Brad Bradford, who himself is not only a member of the Toronto Parking Authority Board, and the Toronto Parking Authority, for those who don't know, run the bike share program for us, and they do it very well. But he's also somebody who's very deeply committed to our cycling infrastructure in the city and to the expansion of programs like this that make it easier for people to use bikes to get around the city. Scott Collier, I'm pleased to be with as well, the president of the Toronto Parking Authority, and Rhonda English, who's the chief marketing officer of CAA from Central Ontario, who've been great partners for us in advancing and expanding the bike share program. We are seeing across the city huge growth in cycling. People who would have never tried it before in the city are now realizing, as we expand our safe bike infrastructure and as we make available things like bike share, so if they don't want to have their own bike in the city, they don't have to. People are taking it up because they know it's a good, clean, safe way to get around the city. So more and more people are making it their choice. And so what we're doing is trying to make sure that we stay up with them and stay up with the way things are changing in 21st century cities, of which we very much want to consider ourselves to be one. And that includes, of course, safe, separate cycling routes. In fact, last year, the City of Toronto saw the single largest year expansion in the bikeway network in the history of the city. And I'm proud of that because I think it is something where it is keeping up with what people want to do and how they want to do it as we go forward. We also continue to invest in programs like the Bike Share Toronto program to make bikes more accessible to people. In 2020, we delivered Bike Share Toronto's largest ever one-year expansion since the program began. The network grew from 465 stations to 625 stations, and that included the addition of 1,850 bikes to the system, 300 of which were the pedal assist e-bikes that I'm told are very popular with people. The program now has a presence in 20 of the 25 wards of the city. And again, that indicates that it's not just another of those kind of downtown programs. It is a program that is finding its way in different parts of the city, and they're telling me that it gets used differently in other parts of the city, but that doesn't matter. The fact is it's there, people are using it, and I think that's a good thing for the city. Bike sharing gives people a convenient and healthy way to get around. It has been working closely with city staff on the Active TO program so that we can make sure there's a presence for the bike share program and Active TO in one and the same place, because obviously even when I've been on Active TO routes, I've seen many of the bike share bikes being used there. We've set up valet stations along those routes so that people can make sure that there are bikes that are available to people in the areas of the closure so that people can experience being on a bike on some of these roads that we have made available on those weekends for people to use and have that experience. So today we're here to announce the return of Bike Share Toronto's very popular Free Ride Wednesdays for the month of July. And this has been something that I've been pleased to take part in the announcement of each of the years that I've been a mayor since the program has existed. And it basically provides for every Wednesday for people to have the opportunity in July to ride for free. Now that consists of being able to take out a bike for up to 30 minutes. Then you return the bike to any station and take out another bike for an additional free 30-minute ride, and so on. And this happens on Wednesdays. And, might you ask, well, have people used this? Well, it's been very well used, and I have some numbers on that, but it wouldn't be possible at all, I should say, without the generous support of CAA Ontario. This is an organization that has been our partner for some time. I know certainly at many of the years I've announced this Free Bike Ride Wednesday program, CAA has been there. It's a long-standing, trusted organization that we're very pleased to be partnered with. And of course, it's very much in the transportation end of things, as well as being in a number of other businesses. They've been great partners for 5 years, and yet again this year they've made it possible for us to have people have the experience of riding for free on Wednesdays. So thank you, CAA, for your support of this program and for your commitment to cycling, because again, it is a safe and healthy and clean way to get around the city, and we're happy to make those available in partnership with the CAA. Now, more than 12.5 million trips have been taken on the bike sharing system since its inception in 2011. That's a lot of people taking a lot of rides. We've had the highest ridership day of all time on June the 5th of this year, with 27,345 rides in one day, all part of a 34% increase in bike share ridership on a year-over-year basis, 2021 over 2020. Free Ride Wednesdays have been a hit in past years, and last year, just to give you an example, during Free Ride Wednesdays, which were in September because of the pandemic, we delivered nearly 75,000 trips over 5 Wednesdays. So again, a lot of people are taking advantage of the opportunity to ride free on Wednesday, in that case in September, this year hopefully again in July. I'm confident we will see that success continue again next month. And I would say to you, as somebody who used the program for the first time relatively recently myself, do it. It's simple to do. It is convenient. It is a fun way to get around the city. I found myself, I was going from point A to point B, but then I did all kinds of exploring in between, which I could do because I was on a bike. And you can do it in a car, but it's not the same. And so I do think that people could perhaps take advantage of the Free Ride Wednesday in order to do some of that exploring themselves, especially when we have these, summer afternoons and evenings that stretch out a little longer. So I just want to conclude by saying a big thank you. When you tour a facility like this on Booth Avenue here in the kind of east end of the city, you maybe have some small realization of all the logistics that are involved in having thousands of bikes. I think the number is about 6,800 bikes across the city, and they have to be kept in repair. The docking stations have to be kept full, so that when people come out of their homes each morning, there are bikes there to be had. The Free Wednesday program has to be programmed by people. The repair shop is in here, and there's 100 bikes a day, I'm told, at least, that are in need of repair. And so I want to say thank you to the staff, who are by and large staff with the Toronto Parking Authority, and some of them are corporate partners we have that help us keep this system running. You could imagine with 6,000 plus bikes and a lot of stations that I mentioned, 600 plus stations, there's a lot of logistics that are involved in making sure that you can have a bike available to you and for you when you want it. And so I want to say thank you to the staff and introduce their leader, Scott Collier, who is the president of the Toronto Parking Authority, to say a few words.
Good morning, everybody. Nice to see everybody. Mayor Tory, a special thank you for being here today. Brilliant words, as always. In addition, a warm welcome to Councillor Bradford behind me, and as the mayor indicated, he's an outstanding member of the Toronto Parking Board, and so of course I have to make sure I'm on my game today. And last but not least, of course, a special call out to Rhonda English, to my right here, who is the CMO for the Canadian Automobile Association, South Central Ontario, and of course, welcome to our friends from Shift and everybody here today. Thank you. Very quickly, friends, Bike Share Toronto is a Toronto success story, and it's something that we can all be proud of. Since its inception in 2011, Bike Share TO has grown into one of the premier programs, not only in Canada, but North America, and that's something we should all be proud of. A few fast facts, because I think it is important to underline this. It's an extraordinarily scalable and large program. 7,000 bikes and growing, 625 stations across about 90% of all the wards in Toronto, 12,000 docks. Last year alone, 3.2 million rides. And year to date, actually, it continues to accelerate. It's 50% year to date. How many businesses are growing at plus 50%? Pretty impressive. And bike share has resonated with Torontonians because it's convenient, it's healthy, it's sustainable, and as Mayor Tory just mentioned, it's fun. It's fun. It harkens back to our youth. I'm proud to say that Bike Share TO has grown to become, quite frankly, an integral piece of Toronto's transportation network. And it's good news, not only the fact that we're going to get bigger in the years to come, but most importantly, we're going to get a lot better. And make no mistake, one of the key drivers of our successful journey has been the tremendous support of the CAA the past 5 years. It is because of their leadership and their commitment that Free Ride Wednesdays has become a cornerstone of the Toronto Bike Share program. So it's my distinct pleasure now to introduce Rhonda English, CMO of the CAA, and that's a heck of an acronym. Anyways, Rhonda, come on up. Thank you.
Okay, good morning. It's very nice to be here. Thank you, Mayor John Tory and Scott Collier, for your very generous words. CA South Central Ontario is really proud to once again be the sponsor of Free Ride Wednesdays in the month of July this year for the City of Toronto. I'm just going to move this down a little bit. right? CA's advocacy work is always focusing on trying to make the Ontario roads safer, and that includes people who choose to travel by bicycle. We're known for our cars, but we support all modes of transportation. And our partnerships with the Share the Road Cycling Coalition as well as the Waterfront Regeneration Trust have really enabled CAA to make a meaningful contribution to cycling in Ontario. And this partnership with Bike Share Toronto is really going to further extend that impact that we can have. Bike Share Toronto is really a great example of how our members support communities investing in cycling infrastructure. We did some research July of 2020, and it found that 8% of Ontario motorists, which is actually over 800,000 people, have indicated that they are going to increase the amount of cycling that they do. And even as restrictions are removed or eased, what we found is that over 50%, 51% of Ontarians actually are planning to cycle. So the pandemic measures have really impacted people's behaviors and what they're choosing to do. And the research indicates that even when we return to kind of post-pandemic life, people are planning to continue cycling. So it's more important than ever. This partnership provides a much-needed opportunity for people who are cycling. We know that people have been looking for ways to explore closer to home based on the situation, and this partnership will make that easier for them. So Toronto is such a beautiful city with so much to offer, and with the Free Ride Wednesdays, you can bike and walk to your favorite destinations or try something new in the city that you haven't tried before. So these short trips are made more possible with this partnership with Bike Share Toronto. To support our road safety and also in response to some further research, we like to do research, the further research that we did that talked to people who both cycle and drive. And they have a need and a desire for more education. So I would encourage everybody to go to our website at caasco.com and download our cycling safety brochure. It actually has great tips for both cyclists and drivers about sharing the road, from infrastructure to signs you might encounter to just practical safety tips. So it's a great resource, and check it out online. Another little bonus and not a well-known fact is that your CA membership, for those who are members, actually covers you on your bike. So if you're stranded, we'll be there to help get you off the side of the road, and it's included as part of your membership. So make sure to keep your card handy whether you're traveling by bike or car in Ontario. And on that note, I'd like to wish everybody a safe and healthy summer, and I really do hope that you get out there and take advantage of Free Ride Wednesdays. It's a great program and a great way to see the city. And on that note, I'm going to turn it back over to Mayor John Tory.
Are there any questions that you've been given? None whatsoever. In that case, we will thank you all very much, and especially, again, the staff team in the broadest sense for making this all happen. And safe riding, everybody. Thank you very much.